YouTubers and subscribers, good afternoon. This is Try76. I'm making this video today because I'd gotten a little bit of flack back from about my video about if you run into a demon and know one, okay? Number one, I'm not your typical paranormal investigator. I'm not your typical demonologist. This is a calling from a higher source, which is called God, okay? I don't want to do this, but it's a calling and I do obey. It is a bad thing if you don't know what you're doing. And a lot of paranormal investigators and demonologists, proclaimed demonologists, go into situations where it could be very dangerous. The first thing that I do to clear up some misconceptions here about it being a cult, or, you know, because you deal in the demon part of it, you don't hear about demons in church. You only hear about the good things, about how to raise your family, morality, and so forth like that, and how to become a good Christian, or a good person, or whatever your faith is. The thing that I want to touch on is the simple fact that it is very dangerous. I have a video up on that video of witchcraft that I replied to BNF about. And the first thing that I do is I go into fasting and prayer for 3 days. The 3 is a symbolism of the number for Christ, okay? 7 is actually the number, but being the 3 is God, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, which is the Trinity. I go into fasting for 3 days if I have time. When it becomes an emergency, I go into prayer real quick, and God has never let me down, trust me. Or otherwise, I'd be possessed by now, okay? A lot of people cannot do what I do because of the simple fact I am chosen by God to do this. Yeah, you can read books, you can study and proclaim that you are who you are, but do you actually know what you're doing? Is the faith really there? Okay? The thing is with demons is that I think they're very stupid. Okay? When it comes to tempters, they're very low-key, low-class demons. They're the bottom, they're the little privates, okay? And they got 3 claws, and the 3 claws on the hands and 3 claws on the feet. I've seen they stand about 2 feet tall. And they're the tempters, and what they do is when you're in the fasting, they tempt you to think things, they mess with your head, or they talk to you, making you think that there's somebody that they're not. For example, I went into fasting for 3 days last year, and they came off as my father, who's been gone for 25 years. And of course I was like, wow, okay, you know, this is great. He's with me, you know. Well, I was told immediately, no, it wasn't him. Because who wouldn't want to, you know, hear from a loved one who's passed on, you know, especially a parent. So, and then another time was when I went into fasting for 3 days, they tried to make me think I was a drunk. I was an alcoholic. And I don't drink. But the temptation was really bad. Okay? And another thing was when I was doing an exorcism on my sidekick's friend, who went to what they call Hell's Gates here in Uniontown, PA, where most of the paranormal go, which I don't think it's that much. We're great. He brought something back, he claimed. So the trickery of what he tried to do was break the prayer circle between me and David and himself, and by asking for a CD, he wanted to listen to his music. Well, I didn't have a CD player there in the room, so how can you listen to a CD, alright? And another instance was that this is the most famous one of all, was when I did the exorcism on the girl a few weeks ago. The demon stood there trying to tell me of all her sins, all her past, you know, sins that she's done, blah, 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 making it feel as though she wasn't worth saving. I jumped back, but I had to keep my distance because I was afraid of getting attacked that night. And my sidekick David was there, and David is 20 years old, and we work as a team, and we work really well together. Oh yeah, we've had our little spats and words, but I mean, he's there when I need him, and I'm there when he needs me. And he catches things that I don't catch, such as John asking for a CD. I was into doing the exorcism, he caught on right away. And he even told me that if the prayer circle would have been broken by going to the car, John probably would have attacked me and hurt me very bad or even killed me. So it is a very serious thing. And I do not recommend anybody just to get into it because they want or they think they can do it. No, it takes years of knowledge, years of practice, and you got to get the knowledge from a higher source than just us, okay? Or if you think you're psychic and you can tap into it, that's cool, but you still got to know what in the hell you're doing. So, all you people out there that gave me a little bit of flack on this, I'm not out to promote demonology. I'm not out to promote demons. I just want to educate the people of what is out there. I myself at one time didn't understand what they look like or how they worked or anything like that. So I'm educating people to know when things start happening, where they should look to and what they should do about it. It isn't that I'm dealing in the occult. It isn't that I'm dealing into something that is taboo. No, I have a calling. That's why my name is Triumph. It's been Triumph ever since I got on the net. It means good over evil because it is written in the Bible as that. And the thing of it is that it is not dealing with the occult. In fact, I'm saving souls. And the one protocol before I do an exorcism is they have to understand that they got to give up everything to be saved for the Lord and to be cleansed and to attend church regularly. I take them to church one time so they can get a feel in to getting into the regime of going to church. So this is what I do, folks. It isn't the idea that I'm into the cult. It isn't the idea that, it has to deal with the demons. I deal on the dark side. And sometimes I get frustrated because I don't want to really be on the dark side. But this is my calling. This is what I was chose to do on this earth. And for the time being anyway. And I ran into a person at the flea market who had a Ouija board. It was an old Ouija board from the 60s, and it was pretty well worked over. And I explained to, his name was David, and I explained to him how the Ouija board can ruin so many people's lives. And he had $2 written on it. Why he ended up giving it to me after I explained to him what a Ouija board can do to a person's life. He explained to me the history of it, and he said I personally never messed with it, but my family has used it since the 1960s. And when I went to pick it up, because my sidekick wasn't there, I just started shaking. It was so strong and powerful. Because usually when I cannot pick up cards or anything because of the simple fact I can tap into it so easy. And he first asked for $1, and then I gave him the $1, he gave me the $1 back. He's going to give me a call. He says to me about, he says, I've never heard of anybody doing this in this area. He says, why aren't you publicized? And I said, why? People think I'm crazy enough, okay, for doing what I'm doing, but the thing of it is there's something going on in his life, and I feel that I'll be back out doing what I need to do. But the protocol is to go into fasting for 3 days, and that way, you're already being tempted, so you can, test your faith that way. But don't go out there and just do it just to do it and think that you know everything there is, because there's no experts in the paranormal sciences. None. There is no expert in the demonology field. There is no expert in the exorcism. The main thing is you got to know what in the hell you're doing when you do it. Because you can screw their life up, you can screw your life up as well. And you always have to, but the people get on the bandwagon of, I'll pray for your soul and this and that and other thing. You don't have to pray for my soul because my soul has already been saved. Because that's why God has chosen me to do what I did, because I feel that I'm a little bit on the Apostle Paul's side. And that, I'm very aggressive, and I was even told by one of the demons coming through someone that they feared me, and that's what I want. Because if you show that one little bit of fear, these things are going to feed on that. Just like a human bullies another human, they feed on that fear, okay? So you can't let that down. But I have a great sidekick alongside with me, and his name is David Orr, and he's 20 years old, and he's dealt on the dark side. He knows what that's like. So he informs me that I don't want to know if I have any questions or anything, if I don't understand it. So we're good for each other. We balance each other out very, very well. So, but anyway, I'm going to read my book, but I want to get this out there and let y'all know that, the radicals out there, maybe you meant well, I don't know. But I'm just clearing myself out here and to let you know that the way I'm doing it is exactly the right way, because I have confirmed with my minister. My minister is very open to this, and he knows what I do, and he has guided me all the way through of telling me that, yes, you are doing it the right way. So that gives me comfort to know, because I don't want no screw-ups. That's how serious it is. I don't even watch the movies. I don't watch nothing that has to deal with the demon world, because I know it is so real. And a lot of people fall into that category. Some of it, like Amityville Horror, I'm sorry, it was a bogus movie. The one in Connecticut, The Haunting in Connecticut, I never saw. I don't want to see it. But the reviews that I got back from David and Jim, and it was stupid. So, but the possibilities are there. Okay, so never dismiss that, because there are stronger demons out there. They are in ranks. And so I take it very serious. So please, leave your comments, and but be tasteful about it, okay? Alright, I'm going to read my book, and I'll get back to you later on today to see if I found anything interesting that I can explain. So, this is Try 76.